Hello, Wolfpack. What a day in the market. What a last 24 hours. This has been pretty crazy. And, I think that the reason for the panic and, the craziness in general is not the fact that we've dropped, but the fact that it's happened very fast and it's happened with an abundance of bad news from the Chinese real estate market and the stock market in America, and a bunch of things, including the infrastructure bill. We've got El Salvador FUD. We've got a lot going on in the market. And a lot of it is building up to be very critical, putting us in a very critical moment for Bitcoin. I'll explain to you why in a second. What I have here is the daily chart. I have a few charts up. I have the daily chart, though, for Bitcoin at the moment. And basically what we're going to be looking at here is the fact that we have this gap, this big gap, in the volume profile that is telling us that we're in a very, very dangerous place to be in right now. We do not have much historical buying support or selling, but basically we're heading into the unknown because we have not much price action in this region to get a good understanding of what's going to happen here, how the support zone is going to react. So far it's reacted favorably, but look, I can't be for sure. I can't tell you for sure what's going to happen here. We have seen a break. We can draw a trend line from all the way back here. And we have seen that breakdown. That's been one of our major support trend lines. It's broken down from that daily close today. So look, it could be very interesting from a price perspective, but from a macro perspective, and this is what I want to look at. From a macro perspective, we still hold true to the 4-year cycle theory. Alright, and I think that in the next couple of days, this theory is either going to be invalidated or stand true. Alright, and I think it's very important to note, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently, it's very important to note that if this theory is invalidated here and we drop below 40k for an extended period of time, I'm talking a few days, alright, which would confirm the breakdown, below the bull market support band, below 40k, the 4-year cycle theory might very well be invalidated. Okay, not 100% sure, but it might very well be invalidated. If the 4-year cycle theory is invalidated, Bitcoin is going to be in a big, big, big load of trouble. Because if the market loses its macro predictability, institutional investors, whales, they're not going to look into Bitcoin anymore. Right? The reason they like Bitcoin is because they can predict here. They can think, oh, okay, so it tops out every 4 years, and I'll just buy down the bottom here somewhere and manipulate on the way up and make a bunch of money. That's what they're thinking, all right? But when that theory breaks, when that doesn't happen anymore, when it's just random price action, they're going to lose interest. Why would they be interested? If a market isn't predictable, you're just gambling. If a market loses predictability, you're gambling. Alright, and we really can't see that happen on Bitcoin. We do not want to see a drop below 40k. And if we do see a drop below 40k, we have to see a bullish Q4. And if we don't see a bullish Q4, I think that I'm probably going to be looking very critically as to whether I want to continue investing in cryptocurrency, because that will be absolutely fatal. But fear not, guys, fear not. We're still following the cyclical theory. We've been predicting a retest of the bull market support band for around 2 months. So I hope you guys have listened to me, because I have said it over and over and over again. We're going to be retesting that bull market support band at some point, and we're doing it now. So this is so far coming in and, just confirming the cyclical theory. We can see I've drawn out a map here of every single September. All right. And in September, each one of these lines here, each one of these columns is a year. And each September, I have drawn a tick for whether it has interacted with the bull market support band, and a cross if it is not. As you can see, out of the last 9 Septembers in cryptocurrency history, 8 of them we have seen interaction with the bull market support band, and out of those 8, 6 we have bounced off of the bull market support band and headed higher. Okay? Notably, the most notable ones being in 2013 here, we saw a test of the bull market support band before running up 810% to new all-time highs. And in 2017, we saw a test of the bull market support band before running up 376% to new all-time highs. Based off of this model, if we saw a test of it right here, due to what has happened in the past, we could assume that we're going to run up 176% to new all-time highs at 115,000. Now, if you remember my last video, I said 133,000, but I also said that that's not set in stone until September ends. I'm measuring it from whatever the price is at the end of September, so that could still change even from this day. So if you want a set in stone price prediction, come back to me at the end of September, the first day of October, and I'll have one for you. So we're looking good. I think we're looking good, in terms of cyclical theory, but we're in a very critical space, and I can't tell you 100% what's going to happen next, because we have, if this was a normal day in the market, if we didn't have all this massive news coming out that could potentially drag down the Chinese economy and cause a, massive financial crash worldwide, well, then I'd tell you, yeah, for sure we're going to hold the bull market support band, for sure. But this has come out of nowhere. This is massive news that could drag down Bitcoin. And, it could be some sort of black swan event. We could maybe drop below the bull market support band and invalidate it. And it could be something like COVID, where, the COVID drop, where you have to kind of overlook it because it, doesn't really mean anything in terms of the macro point of view. It was a black swan event. It didn't really have anything to do with TA, It could be something like that, but I don't know, guys. This is a risky point. This is a risky spot, and I've definitely got my eyes on 40K. So keep an eye on 40K. There's not really much else to say. I mean, I've got some people in my feed on Twitter saying we're going to come down here to this 37K region, and bounce off 37K. We've had some support there in the past. But if we do that, all we're going to be seeing, in my opinion, is a massive head and shoulders pattern, and then a drop down to like 20K, or like, maybe 30K. We'll bounce off that support again, but that's well tested at this point. I don't know how long that's going to hold. So my opinion is 40K is the last line of defense here. And if we see a drop below it, that's fine. It just can't be sustained. We can't be seeing days and days closing below 40K. That's very, very bad. That's very, very bad. So I'd recommend to you guys, I hope you've already done this, because I've said it before. I hope you've already done this, but I'd recommend set your stop losses. Okay, because if this thing drops down below 40K, there's reason to believe it's going to be very, very fast, just like we had in May here. All right. Just like we had in May. It's just going to be, within a week, we're going to drop, maybe 40%, 30%. We've already dropped it substantially, so maybe not too much, but we could drop very quickly, and altcoins will get crushed, so be careful. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. But on Ethereum, for example, we can bring up Ethereum quickly, and we can note that a critical support zone in Ethereum right now, on the daily chart, where we're still holding, which is nice to see, is that 3K to 2,850 support zone. We're still holding that. So, I'm looking at altcoin charts. I'm looking at charts. I looked at the Wanchain chart earlier today. I've got all these charts, RLC, Bitcoin Cash. They're all looking like the bottom, a great bottoming out region, where if we do see the drop stopping, and that would probably entail a drop in the Chinese market stopping as well. If we see it stopping, wow, we're going to be in a good position to move up straight up, for Q4, just like we've done in the previous bull markets. So we just have to be seeing the drop. I would go as far to say here that if Bitcoin crosses 45K, that we're probably guaranteed to end, to the new all-time highs within a couple of months. That's my personal price prediction. That's not financial advice. That's what I'm thinking. 45K, that would give us enough room to clear this drop, get us out of the striking range to 40K, and then clearly head back up for a bullish Q4. But, I have seen this fractal here, but I've drawn up this fractal. Just ignore the lines here. This fractal in this small region in the few days ahead, taking a fractal from the 4-hour chart in the drop we had 2 weeks ago. We can see we could be jumping around here for a few days before heading upwards or heading downwards. Basically, the point of this video is to tell you 40K, guys. 40K is very important, not only for this cycle, not only for this bull run, but potentially for the future of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So, very critical time. We need to be holding the line on Bitcoin. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.